Hi Bibies and welcome to my channel. In today's video we are gonna do a side-by-side between a very stiffy price, so a luxury product, and of course a drugstore alternative. I am very excited as per usual. This video is not sponsored at all. This is my personal opinion and whatever comes out my mouth is what I truly believe and what I truly think about this product. Of course I can be right, I can be wrong, but that is through my experience. I did actually have one of the palettes of the luxury one for quite some time. If you guys know, I used to be a makeup artist. I used to like travel around, do a lot of photo shoot, do brides. I used to work a lot on people. Now I tend to do mostly my makeup and review product. So kind of like my life has slightly switched, but of course I gotta put on a little bit of makeup anyway, and that is what I love about. So we are gonna review this palette over here. That is absolutely gorgeous. Was one of my first purchase actually when I started makeup. I saved up my money for buying this one, and let me tell you, yes, I really did not use it as much. I think it's because it was that expensive that I was just like, oh my god, Carmi, why did you just spend £220 on this? But I was just like, I was very happy and I had to have it. And this one is the Bobbi Brown, the BBU palette. It comes with, on one side you do get 13 concealer and 14 cream correctors, so they are Bobbi approved. And on the other side, and that's what literally sold me so much, that you get 20 foundation shades. I like the fact that they're all the names, so they are written down. It's gorgeous, like look wise, it feels amazing. Like if you guys know, when you are a makeup artist and everything, there are a lot of these palettes around, but of course I had to be a little bit of kind of like a fashionista and buy like a Bobbi Brown one. Do I regret it? Not really, because I'm very excited to actually have it. I can do this video, but I didn't really use it as much, so I don't know. But that is another point. But the actual Revel? Do you say Revel? No, you actually say you actually say Contender is a Freedom palette. There are actually two of them. I got both of them, and one is the HD Pro Concealer in light medium, when the other one is the medium dark. So as you guys can see, these palettes over here, they look very similar. You do get a little bit of more like color corrector on this one, so you get like a pink, you get yellow, you get a green. They're on the BBU palette, you actually don't have them. But overall, these palettes are looking very similar. Of course, they are not just in one. But let me tell you the price. Normally each individual of them is retail for £10, but now on Town Beauty they're actually only £5. So I grabbed them both for only 10. So I was like, they sound very good and very fun. So I have over here both of them, and what I did, if you guys actually can see, I have on my right side the BBU palette by Bobbi Brown, and on my left side the Freedom. And I'm gonna let you actually let me know if you see any difference, and I'm gonna walk you through with what I actually use and how I use this product, and I will have some footage around so you can actually get to see the step by step. So the first things I did, I actually went with a color correcting. So I moved in first with the BBU palette. I always use a spoolie to actually take off products when I use palettes like this one. It's definitely more sanitized, so it's like you don't actually get cross-contamination, especially because, I don't know, maybe along the line I will do makeup on somebody else, so it's quite good to keep the product very nice and very intact. So as you can see, there was a right side with BBU and on the left side with the Freedom. Of course I only use the medium one, the darker one, because the lighter one is definitely too light for me. But definitely not everybody is gonna be my skin color, so I like that and I like it quite a lot. Then I move into concealer, and you guys can see the concealer exactly look as good as both sides. So color correcting, concealer on top, and then after, and that is my favorite part, because for example on the BBU you do get 20 foundation, but because they are stick foundation they are quite hard. So what you want to do is actually mix them with a little bit of your favorite primer, or I use for example my face cream. And I was thinking about like the Bioderma one. This is the Hydra Bio cream. Is rich moisturizer. Okay, my skin is more to the dry side, so when I use a very thick consistency into foundation, I do have to use that because that really really helps me. As you guys can see, when I did actually use the BBU, I only used one color straight away and it was way too dark. So I was like, Carmi, what you doing? You're making yourself looking like a mess. So what I did, what everybody does, if you are a makeup artist, you know that you can't really own every single foundation and any single spectrum. Like, you need to mix. So that's what I did. I actually added a light foundation mixer, and this is what it turned up, and I do have to say I like it, and I think I did kind of a good job. And of course, when I moved into the Freedom one, I straight away went into Mix 2 concealer with a little bit more moisturizer. That's the thing. The BBU palette does say that there is 20 foundation, but between foundation and concealer, it's just a concentration of actual pigment. So what I did, I had a little bit more moisturizer to make it work, to make it nice. Overall, this is the finished look. This is what my skin looks like. As you can see, it's very, very hard to actually see the half of my face. They look pretty much the same. I don't really see a huge difference, but you do get a huge difference in your Wally. Like, of course, there is about 210 pounds difference, and I do think that is a crazy amount of difference. Like, the price is insane. Now that we see the demo, we are gonna look at each individual palette, and of course, I'm gonna give you a little bit of my personal pro and cons. Please take it with a grain of salt. If you are interested in both of these palettes, go and check that out yourself. Have a look, make up your mind, and see what you feel. This is what I personally have experienced by owning them both. Of course, there is something that I like and something that I don't like. And of course, we are gonna start, because we are gentlemen, we're gonna start with the luxury one. This one is a Bobbi Brown, the BBU palette. So first of all, I do like the look. I think it looks absolutely stunning. The attention to detail is very, very luxury. You are paying a very, very stiffy price, because I personally think £220 is a little bit too much. I know you get pretty much every single color that Bobbi Brown actually makes for foundation stick, and of course for the concealer and everything, but come on, let's face it, you don't really get the full amount of product, so £220 is a little bit stiffy. If it was 150, like proper pushing it, because you are buying also for the brand name and everything, I would kind of feel like, yeah, it's a little bit more justifiable. I don't know, but £220 is definitely way too much, and just for that, I would not recommend it to just like go run and buy it online. So please go to a store, have a look at yourself. If you really feel this is going to be good for you, you go and purchase it. If not, don't be an impulse buyer. Of course, I don't even know how much money you personally make. You can just be loving life and living life. So I'm not really looking into your wallet. I just say if you are a normal consumer, this one over here might be not the first pick, only for the money as well. I do like the fact that you do get, as I said earlier, all the names on each side. So if in case one of them finishes, you can just replenish it with exactly the same shade. Of course, it's not going to be as pretty as when you actually just buy it, because you have to like physically with your own hands and a spatula to like press it in. But overall, you can just do that. And yeah, I think the palette is good. It's definitely a little bit more richer in consistency and creamy at the same time. I know it sounds very weird, but you do get a little bit more color pigmentation respect to the Freedom one, and they blend much quicker, but they are £220. And on the other hand, we have our drugstore. There is, of course, the Freedom, the HD Pro Concealer. So let's have just a really quick look. Of course, you get two palettes instead of one. You don't get the kind of like the fanciness with all the name written down, because you can't actually really buy individual colors. So you just buy the palette. When the color finishes, you kind of need to help her out to mix it out yourself, or you just have to buy the full palette. But the full palette is £10. I know now it's in promotion, but I don't know how long the promotion is going to go for. But £10 for a full, like, for all this, I'm okay with it. I'm not mad about it, especially if you're starting now with makeup, or you even go to like cosmetology school and you like to like learn about makeup, or you start to do your first client. Let me tell you, they are going to be the picky clients, and I did have them when they were just like, they wanted to know which makeup you're going to apply on them. They tend to always be like, for example, like if you do like brides, or you do like a person individual client. But if you are doing photo shoot, if you are doing models, if you are kind of doing a little bit more like alternative makeup, nobody really cares what you actually put on. As soon as it looks good and it will last through the photo shoot, through the heat and everything, you can put the most expensive foundation on or the cheapest one. If you know how to make it work, you're good. No one is gonna check into your kit what you got, to be honest with you. So overall, I do think for the price, it's definitely a massive thumbs up. You can definitely even get this one, experiment, and if you feel like, you know what, I love it, I know how to use it, I know how to mix products, and I'm gonna save my money up to invest in the BBU palette, do that. Like, play around, that is the fun of makeup. I like a lot about this product. As I said, they are slightly less pigmented, even if, to be honest with you, look at my eyes, look around my skin and everything, the pigmentation is there. There is a good coverage, there is nothing I can deny about, but if I really need to put comparison one to next to each other, there is slightly a little bit of less coverage, and they are slightly a little bit more harder, so you kind of need to warm up your product. Of course, you can use your fingers or you can use your brush, but the BBU palette is a lot more softer, so it will blend much quicker. But overall, I personally feel like would you get the same effect, would you get the same finish, and for that I do have to say I personally recommend more a £10. You can definitely play and experiment and see what you feel, if you like them or you don't. And here we have the Bibies, another video is complete. I know it was a little bit random because I don't really tend to talk about products for like makeup artists and everything, but I know some of you are absolutely amazing and do the best makeup that I've ever seen. So that kind of was something for me to use, so that you can actually add on to your kit or into your day life. You can even use both of the palette to do like your cream contouring. There is definitely enough shades, and make sure you are having fun, you are mixing shades. That is my favorite things to do when I do makeup. I just like to pile on a lot of stuff. But I hope you guys have liked this video, and of course, if you like me and if you like my videos, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, say subscribe, leave me a comment down below. If you can, it will be amazing for you to share this video and let our Bibi family grow as big and strong as possible. We are the prettiest one. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and always remember, like if you like, hate if you hate, and until next time, you're welcome.